So in today's video, I'll be talking to you guys about 10 essential items that you need in GTA Online. But before we get started, if you guys are new to the channel, like I always say, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay tuned and updated with the quality gaming content. And now let's get started right with today's GTA Online video. So the first 4 items on this list are actually weapons. Now these weapons are pretty essential if you're trying to kill anyone in the game, whether that actually be real people or if it's going to be AIs during missions and etc. I know sometimes you need some very high powered weapons to kill some people, and I'll be showing you which ones in specific, in my personal opinion, they should be getting. Now firstly, we're going to be talking about the simpler weapons, which you don't need the Mark II variants of, which are definitely going to be the RPG and the assault rifle, or assault shotgun, sorry. Now if you go to your nearest ammunition store, which you're going to pull up to right now on the map, now once you go there, you'll be able to see all the different weapons across and on the wall. Now to get the shotgun, I think you'll have to be at least rank 40 or 60, and if you want to get the RPG, I know that's around rank 75 or 100, so you'll have to be at least rank 75 to 100, which I believe most of you already are. If not, keep grinding and you'll get up there. But they're definitely very good weapons to go ahead and purchase, just because of the fact that they're very overpowered. The assault shotgun being very good close range, and then the RPG obviously being very close with distance, or even with range, it is still very good up close. But aside those 2 weapons, we're going to be talking about the Mark II variants of some different weapons. Now to access the Mark II variants of the weapons, you'll need to have a weapon workshop. Now inside my mobile operations center, I've purchased a mobile weapon workshop upgrade, so I'm going to go inside that and show you guys which guns that I was talking about. Now in specific, I want to talk about the heavy sniper Mark II to begin with, as it is very good. If you have the bunker upgrade and you got the unlock for the magazine known as explosive rounds, it comes in reduced capacity, but it's very good taking down enemy helicopters, aircrafts, vehicles, etc. It's very good in that, and causes a lot of damage to enemies, as well as obviously their explosive bullets, which are very helpful. Now obviously with the Mark II variants, you can also upgrade the tints, the liveries, and the colorway of it even more than the regular guns, which makes it a bonus for that. But an honorable mention would obviously go to the combat MG Mark II. This is a very powerful light machine gun in the game that obviously holds a lot of rounds. But I want to talk about the special carbine Mark II, as this is a very good gun. If you get the right, magazine, you can get extended clip, tracer rounds, whatever that you want. Obviously there is some with a reduced or standard capacity, such as the tracer rounds and the armor piercing bullets and etc. It just comes at a cost. You're gonna have that reduced capacity, but extended clip should be good enough, as it does more damage than the regular Mark II variants. And those are just some of the some of the weapons that you obviously want to go ahead and purchase and add to your essentials checklist in the game. But now we're going to move on to the vehicles. Now the first vehicle that I'm going to be talking about is the thing that everyone has and most people actually grief with instead of using, which is the thing I'm driving right now, which is the Oppressor Mark II, the Pegassi Oppressor Mark II. Now this vehicle is very expensive, it comes at a large cost, and the fact that it is just a very overpowered vehicle. You can fly around with it. It's a very fast. It competes with a lot of helicopters in the game as well, just in terms of overall speed, and it's convenience. You can just call it in and take it wherever you want to the map and then return it. It's a personal vehicle too. You can store it in your terabyte or wherever. It's a very helpful tool to get around the map. Nonetheless, you can still upgrade it to adding the missiles for an additional multi-$100,000 cost, but it's still worth it if you're trying to take out enemies very swiftly, especially in missions. If you're trying to do solo prep missions yourself, this is a very helpful tool. You can obviously purchase it on the internet from the Warstock cash and carry website. You can get the trade price for it as well, doing doing certain missions with your Terabyte. And that is moving on to the next thing on the list, which is definitely going to be a Terabyte. Now if you go under your interaction menu, services, you can see right here I can request my Terabyte, but the Terabyte is a very good vehicle as well. If you go down to Warstock and Cash and Carry, it's literally the second thing on the page right here. You can renovate it, add a turret station, drone station, weapon workshop. I already have multiple weapon workshops, so I'm not going to add it to this, but I have a lot of things and I just kept the default on it. But it's still a very helpful tool. If you are a solo player, you like hosting your businesses through that, you can actually source a lot of things through that. When I get inside my Terabyte, I'll show you more in depth right here. This is where you can upgrade your Mark II oppressor with as well, and mostly what most people do is purchase the Terabyte before they get the Mark II oppressor, so you just might want to keep that in mind. But if you go over here to the little computer, you'll have to obviously register, but I'll just do that right now. As I'm not in a solo public session or a public session in general, I can't start any of these missions. But you can actually host your vehicle cargo sourcing missions, gun running supply source, biker supplies, sell or buy 3 cargos for your warehouse, air freight cargo, and client jobs. Now if you complete 5 of these, you get that vehicle discount bonus on your Mark II oppressor, and that's what it makes it way more cheaper and more affordable to own a Mark II oppressor if you purchase the Terabyte beforehand. Now those are just the first 2 vehicles, and the pricing and everything for these vehicles will be shown on the screen while I'm talking as well, just in the background for you guys, so you can pause the video to look at that as well. But now moving on to the next vehicle. Now the next 2 vehicles are going to be inside my garage. Now the next 2 essential vehicles in the game, the first one gonna have to be the Armored Kuruma, an OG in this game, and a lot of people already have it just because of the CPU bullet resistance, as well as like against real players. It has very good bullet resistance, and if you're driving it at top speeds, no one can really kill you in it unless they obviously shoot a rocket at it. That is the only downfall to this vehicle, that it isn't armored in the sense of rocket resistance, but in bullet resistance it is very good. If you go to the internet under Southern San Andreas Super Autos, you can see that it is on that website for around $525,000, but it definitely is a must buy, especially if you are a new player into the game. Most of us already have it if you have been playing this game for a while, but I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. It's definitely worthwhile even in today's date of purchasing this vehicle. It's pretty fast as well for a sports car, and I would definitely recommend purchasing off-road tires on it if you want to go ahead and purchase it for yourself. But now moving on to the next vehicle on this list is going to be the heavy Night Shark. Now the Night Shark is a very interesting vehicle in the sense that there is a lot of upgraded armor vehicles in the game, but nothing near the level of this in armor capability, because it's so nimble, agile, like to drive, the brake in it, and the handling, everything overall stats wise is very good. You can see by the maxed out acceleration stat, it's a very fast car, you know, and it's armored to the max. So if you're driving around, you're trying not to get blown up by Mark II oppressors or anything, this is definitely going to have to be your best bet for that. And I know that there has been the new vehicles released with the Amane tech, and those vehicles have the fact that you can't lock onto those vehicles, but even so, you need like 2 Mark II oppressors to blow this up, and that's what makes it so special. You can drive around with it, and it's very cool as well. You don't need to get the bulletproof helmet or the bulletproof window, sorry, for this one, but if you want to get the bulletproof windows, it gives you that extra layer of bullet protection, but not being able to shoot your guns out of the window if you're trying to do missions. So just keep that in mind. I don't drive this vehicle as much as I do my Insurgent, but when it comes to like getting from point A to point B, this is way better than the Insurgent just because it's way faster. It's better on turns, better in general in my personal opinion, and I believe it's worth way more in terms of the longevity of this vehicle. It'll last you longer, and it's more helpful when it comes to like missions and etc. But now moving on to the next thing in the game that I want to be talking about is definitely going to go to the Buzzard Attack Chopper. Now the convenience about the Buzzard Attack Chopper is that you can literally just register as a CEO, go under your CEO vehicles, call in your Buzzard, and then boom, you can see right now it spawned right over here, right beside you. And that's very helpful in situations where you're trying to, you know, get somewhere very quickly. Maybe your vehicle got destroyed and you're trying to go back to it. This is where this comes in. Now it is pretty expensive. It's near $2 million if you go to Warstock Cash and Carry, price low to high or high to low. You'll be able to see the Buzzard Attack Chopper near there, near the top. And now this is very good as it is a pretty old vehicle in the game. Yeah, so it's around $2,100,000 or $1,750,000, but definitely worthwhile. You know, it's very convenient and it can take you, and you can literally go almost anywhere around the map with it. The only downfall to it is that it isn't as armored as the other helicopters in the game, but the fact that you can literally spawn it anywhere and it comes right near you, that is something that makes it way better than all of the other air helicopters or air planes in the game. Now moving on to the next thing on this list is going to have to be the Kasatka. Now the Kasatka is where you host your Cayo Perico heist on, and a lot of people already own this thing also because they wanted to do the Cayo Perico heist, but it's the first thing on Warstock Cash and Carry's website right here, and you don't really need to add any upgrades to it. I didn't add any upgrades to it like I do to most of my things, and it still is a very helpful tool. You can make millions upon millions all by yourself solo by doing the Cayo Perico heist. It's the only heist in the game that you can do all by yourself, which makes it very cool and helpful and just a long-term investment. You'll make your investment and then some back in literally no time, and it literally takes like 1 or 2 different heists to go ahead and get that money back and more. So that's why I have to put this vehicle on the list. But that's been it for today's video. Let me know what I've missed out or what you might want to add on to today's list. But that's been it. It's been a boy Zion. I'll be catching you guys all in my next video. Peace out.